Okay, so right now we have 23 people. Okay, so we can start, and we have Devdut. Right. So yes, Devdut, you can open your camera as well, and we'll start the session. Yes,
Yeah,
Devdut is
hi
here.
guys. Hi guys. Yeah, I think Abdul. I think Azim, you start with your introduction. I think whatever
Yes,
you
yes.
do, then I'll start on my introduction, like how I am doing and what are the experience I have, in which area I have worked on. All those things I'll explain.
Yes, yes, done. Correct. So I think like most of you know about me. So I am Azim, and I have 5 years of experience completely in Android, and worked with the multiple startups, product-based startup, and service-based company also. And right now, running the coding chef, I can say like, building the coding chef. So where I am providing the content related to the Android. Apart from that, doing the building the products for the startups, and also building some of my product as well, right? So it's a pretty much, or like some brief about me. Now here is Devdut basically, and let me give a brief idea about the Devdut. So Devdut basically is the instructor of this KMP course that we are going to start soon, right? Now the complete introduction, Devdut, you can start.
Yeah, yeah. So hi guys, I think you know me around in LinkedIn. I am named as Devtu there. So if you can search in LinkedIn. So the thing is, I have started my journey through TCS. So there I worked on a tablet-based project. It's an offline first application where we used the latest architecture like Room and others, right? And whatnot, right? Room, coroutine, and back then coroutine was experimental from the Kotlin. So I started working on the RX Java, then moving to Kotlin coroutine, and then using suspend function for rooms and others, right? So those technical work manager also I did for the sync and others, right? So those sort of things I worked on TCS, and then I moved to ShareChat. You already know, I think ShareChat is one of the biggest social media platform here in India, and I met Azim there only. So yeah, so I was working there, and Azim was, I think, new joinee there
Yes,
after like 2 to 3 months. I think we
yes.
joined within a gap of that, and it was really amazing with working with Azim there. And also there, I worked on virtual gifting, one of the best feature in ShareChat or Moj, you can see to be precise.
And I think that it will be the that was the highest revenue generated feature in the share
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, correct. It was the heart of ShareChat actually. So like 50% of the GMV comes from the virtual gifting only. So it was because ShareChat is already running around 400 million users per month, and this is a very big number of like users are using it. So it's large scale project altogether, and there we worked on chat room and virtual gifting whatnot, right? So you already know in chat room how things works, right? It's very real time in nature. You
Yes,
have to make top notch performance, right? So all those things was there. Many hurdles we faced during implementation, but yeah, like it actually counts up your experience, right? So you
yes.
gain experience, and you be better of yourself in the next day, right? So that is what happened in ShareChat. Then I moved to Angel One. Here you already know it's a broking company. So here performance will be the utmost priority rather than product development. So there also I get to work on many new things like making server driven UI at the homepage to personalize homepage altogether for the users. So
Hmm.
you will go to Angel One app, you see the homepage. That homepage I built from the scratch in native and native Android actually. So there we make the personalization. If you see the homepage, your homepage and my homepage will be totally different.
Hmm.
So that is what I worked on majorly at my first phase, and then worked on new order pad. It's not yet live. It's 5% of the users are now enjoying that feature, and apart from that, there are many performance improvement like baseline profiling and other things I all worked on. Recently, what we started working on that is very interesting, and where it comes up that I'm I'm doing this session, whatever learning and whatever things I did regarding this migration. So we are in a process of migrating the whole application to CMP. So there we first shipped our logger module. Like you have a shared logger, right? So in your application, you have to log something to the server so that actually you get to know what how your application is performing, right? And if there any unnecessary or uncertain things or unfortunate thing happens in your application, right, you have to detect where it got happened.
Hmm.
So it's you can actually confuse of in two things. One is analytics, one is a logging. Both are different. Actually, analytics is very specific to your data engineering team, which actually helps you to aggregate all the data, personalize the data, and make out of it like how your feature is working. What of the percentage user are using those, right? So those are related to analytics, but log is very specific to development.
Hmm.
Anything goes wrong, any sort of things, it might happen, because what we do generally that we go and directly say, okay, this I built and this will work for all the users,
Hmm.
right? But it doesn't. There are many challenges like slow network. You have many things like 2G, 5G, 3G network, right? All those things, there can be network failure, how you are retrying, how you are doing the exponential retry. So all those mechanisms are there, right? So these are the things that I learned uh, during my experience in Angel One and others company. So this is all about brief on my side. It's not a brief explanation, I know, but yeah, still I kept it very brief.
Hmm. So, Devdut, like, what was your experience when you started working on the KMP and CMP? Like, before the KMP,
Yeah.
so you have the very hard work on the compose, right? But after the
Correct.
compose, like, how was your experience?
So it's really really good actually. The thing is the concept that is built on top of like KMP, right? How KMP works actually, that excites me a lot, because this gives you a more control over your native applications. So because we as a technology team in Angel One, we manage two code bases. One is Android and iOS, right? So for us, the user base is around 90% of the users are on Android and 10% of the users on iOS, right? So the decision that we made to choose KMP over any other technologies, because of sharing our business logic. That was the utmost priority for us. Because you write something, right? There might be a chance you are writing something, your database schema got changed at the back end, and the API contract got changed, right? Then what can happen? And you have to write that code in both the platform, in iOS as well as Android.
Correct.
That becomes very clumsy, and that is a duplicate work that you are doing, right? You are putting, right? So you are hiring two engineers for that, right, to do the same task. But
Exactly.
if you have only one code base for that and you write that code upfrontly with a single developer, you are cutting the cost of the company, and also you are helping to mitigate issue faster, rather than going to a loop of a product and then searching for developers, having the bandwidth allocation and all those things. Instead of doing that, what you are doing, you are just putting upfront effort for a one developer, you are getting the bandwidth for a sprint, and you are doing done and dusted. So that is the cool thing about KMP, first place. Yeah.
And yes, like, what about the CMP? So, actually, like, people are confusing in this term, like KMP,
Correct.
CMP. So,
Correct.
what's your
Correct.
take
Correct.
on this?
Yeah, I think there is a concept gap in what KMP and KMM and then CMP. So there are
Yes.
three terms.
Hmm.
I'll
Correct.
clarify both three of the things. One is KMP, that is Kotlin Multiplatform. One is KMM, that is Kotlin multi-module, and then you have CMP is a Compose multi-platform,
Hmm.
right? So I'll walk you through on the three terms. So KMM is it's basically you write a shared business logic for Android and iOS, right? That is called KMM. That's
Hmm.
it. That is what that means. Now KMP is that is where you extend your KMM logic to the other platforms as well. That is desktop, that might be your JS ecosystem, right?
Hmm.
So those sort of things bundled together actually says is about as KMP. How
Hmm.
it looks like, it's KMP, right? And CMP is when you have the shared business logic already in place,
Hmm.
that is using your KMP or KMM
Hmm.
based on your use cases, and then on top of that you want to share your UI as well.
Hmm.
That means you are writing a UI which is rendering both the places, in Android, in iOS, in desktop, in whatnot, right? That is what comes in CMP. That is compose multi-platform. You are writing a composable
Hmm.
which renders in multiple places.
Right, right. And what companies are using right now? So I think they are using the combination of CMP and KMP.
Yes, yes, correct, correct. Absolutely, and we are moving towards that only in
Hmm.
Angel One at least.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is one thing. Second thing is there is a flexibility also.
Hmm.
You can have a native code base,
Hmm.
right? You can gradually migrate also, and
Hmm.
that is a pure power of KMP and CMP over here,
Hmm.
because your CMP or your composables can actually be exported to your Android directly, so you can directly use that composable there.
Hmm.
You can also have your you can export a compose view controller to
Hmm.
your iOS side.
Hmm.
iOS can also use that view controller to render their composables inside their existing native view. That is a true power. So you have side by side have a native as well as a CMP while migration, right? So migration is very very easy
Yes.
for CMP. That is a true power of it. And apart from that, also there is a business decision that you can, technical decision or business decision, you can say, you can do it like that as well. That you can make an application which have a performance heavy, like you
Hmm.
want a performance heavy thing, right?
Hmm.
So in iOS, let's say you decide that your homepage it's very very trade heavy,
Hmm.
you build it into the native, right? But other screens, like let's say you have a insurance page, like for us it's an insurance page,
Hmm.
for other page, right, which are not very interactive or very trade heavy, right? We can build it using CMP itself. And that you don't need any other developer with other expertise like JavaScript or Dart, right? For
Hmm.
Flutter or React Native, you don't need that other developers. You can make use of the Android development skills into your current project and you can make use of it. So migration is very easy.
Hmm.
And also you can have a very flexible decision that
Hmm.
you can write also a KMP shared module which can be used between CMP as well as in your native. So there are more flexibility rather than having other frameworks.
Correct. So let's say like if I am not going to use the CMP, I am directly integrate the KMP. So I think
Correct.
the UI will be in the Swift.
Correct. UI will be in the native. So you, for iOS it will be Swift. For Android it will be Compose, or maybe you are using Android XML still.
Hmm.
So that might be also a use case. For desktop you are using, let's say, Java or something
Hmm.
like that. So it's up to you how you want to use it.
So correct. So I think like to simplify this complexity, so developers
Hmm.
do the combination of these things, CMP
Correct.
with the
Correct.
KMP. Like for the
Correct.
CMP, they can build the UI in the Compose, and for the logic part,
Correct.
they can write all the shared logic in the Kotlin.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Hmm.
Correct.
Yes. Great. Okay. So now, what should be the, let's say, like if someone has not started the Compose as well, so
Hmm.
like what should be
Hmm.
the roadmap like to start the KMP and CMP? What should be the things, or what should be the topics that it must require to learn?
Okay. The thing is that basically you need to be have a decent Android developer.
Hmm.
I'll not say you need to know every advanced thing at all.
Hmm.
It's just that you know Kotlin very well, like at least at the basics, like how Kotlin works and how you write a code in Kotlin, right? At least for loop, if else,
Hmm.
those sort of things you need to know.
Hmm.
That is the first thing first. Second thing is you need to know Compose, how Compose works, at least the basics. You
Hmm.
write a composable there, you know what are the composables are available in the UI kit, right?
Hmm.
So those sort of things you need to know. And also a basic thing about writing Android code, like how
Hmm.
you build a clean architecture project, how you write a domain layer, data layer, or
Hmm.
UI or presentation layer, right? How you write those things, like clear separation of concerns, right? How you build a class in a single responsibility, right? So,
Hmm.
so you write a code which scales well, right? So those sort of basic things you have to know. Rather than this, everything will be onboarded to learn CMP or KMP.
Hmm. Okay. And like, what about the scope of KMP? Like the hiring process or the packages and the, like
Yeah,
what are the companies are hiring? So.
yeah. So scope, I will say it's infinite, because right, when Flutter came, when
Hmm.
React Native came, everyone says about it like, let's go and dive into React Native or Flutter,
Hmm.
right? Now there, then and there, the market was not gone viral, right?
Hmm.
Now you see that output, right? Flutter developers are really really going beyond that, right? So now it's the perfect time, because Flutter is now Flutter and React Native, it's kind of a congested where competitions are more, right? Because there are a lot of opportunities also, but there are a lot of developers also in the market, right?
And
But
I
for
think the
CM,
package is also less as compared to the native.
correct. Even if you do see, right, for Flutter, right, what happens, Flutter or React Native, you have more developers to compete with, right? But for CMP, it's very new technology here, right? It's very new, and we have an advantage being an Android developer, that we can go through it, right? We can learn, we can invest only, let's say, 1 month or 2 months of time, and we are onboarded with the technology, right? Because we already know Kotlin, we already know Compose. Now, starting with CMP and KMP will be a piece of cake for us. So, starting point is very easy for us. And second thing is that the technology is new. So, current time, that this time is the current time when you invest your time into it, and in the later of this year, or maybe the next year, right? You will get a lot of opportunity. Already, you can see in LinkedIn many posts are there where they are asking us to know about Android, iOS, and CMP and KML. Say all the big giants, right, already going towards finding people who know at least Kotlin very well, as well as on top of that, if you have a KMM there in your CV, you are in the top hire.
Okay, got it. And like, let's say if someone wants to start the KMP or learn the KMP or CMP, and
Correct.
but he doesn't have the MacBook, so like, what should he can do?
Yeah, so it happens actually. So if you are coming from Android background or any other background at all, right? So unfortunately, you can't build a iOS app inside your MacBook. Without MacBook, you can't, but you can actually still develop your desktop app, your Android app, and all those things, right? You can test it upfront. Most like, fortunately, it is like for CMP, there doesn't need many configurations on the platforms, but still there are chances that you need it. But some of, like, most of the cases, you don't need it. If your Android app is working fine, your iOS will also work in the same way, right? So that is one thing. And if you don't have, still you can build. You need to set up your GitHub Actions, you can set up your CI/CD pipeline. There you can actually run your code inside a Mac OS. There you have to write a script there and Mac OS, and it will create a iOS app for you, and it can actually provide you a downloadable link as well. So that, you if you have iPhone, you directly download it in your iPhone, and you can get this with started. So you can actually run that application in your iOS application, and then in the iPhone you can test it how it is working or not. So
Okay.
that is an alternative solution that you can make use of it if you don't have any MacBook at all.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I think like, Devdutt, let's have a some sort of a session, kind of
Yeah.
where you can explain the code base apart from, right?
Yeah. So I think I will start on the basics first. What AMP actually is, how it is different from the other cross-platform options that we have, and internally how it works, right?
SMP. What is SMP?
SPM, Swift Package Manager, right? Swift Package Manager is nothing about, like, in the iOS, right? There are two ways you can add a dependency, right? One is a pod that uses internally Ruby. So they now shifted to, because the ecosystem of iOS actually shifting towards Swift. So they introduces Swift Package Manager there, which is actually a kind of a alternative for pod. So instead of using pod, you would directly create a file called package.swift, and there you just mention what are the packages or third-party packages you are depending on. So based on that, it will actually fetch all the dependencies that you have into your project and cache it there and use it for your iOS application, right? So in terms of KMP or CMP, what I will start my session, just to be on the context, right? How SPM you can make use of it. You can also publish your KMP or CMP library into a Swift Package Manager, and you can directly you make use of it, and you can also add the dependency into your Swift package manager directly in your native application, and you can use of it. So there are no issues there, right? So yeah, I think that's all I think that you wanted to know. So I think I explained. Anything else like apart from this? Anyone has any questions till now so that I can start fresh? Okay, you understood. Okay. Anyone has any questions, you guys can post it. I'll wait for 1 minute and then we'll start on the basics.
Yes, whatever the questions you have, you can post, and we will try to cover in the last of the session.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay. So I will I'll share my screen and we'll try to open Excel draw. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll explain. Okay, I'll explain, Srijan. So first I'll just walk you through on the basics, how actually CMP works, because always you can wonder about it, like how Kotlin actually being working in Swift, right? How you can make a Kotlin working in your directly into the Swift code, how you are make use of it, right? How you are importing your Kotlin packages into your Swift code base, right? So that is a magic, right? That you guys will see, right? In desktop also the same similar thing, right? You are writing a Java code or Java desktop application, and there you are importing a Kotlin binary, right there itself. So it's a magic, right? So how Kotlin does actually, let's dive into that, then we'll walk you through on the CMP side how things are working. So first I'll explain the KMP pipeline, how things works. So basically Kotlin is a language which was built on top of in mind that it should be cross platform at the day one. So when Kotlin was built, the idea was that Kotlin should be cross-functional or cross-platform, right? That means it can be used in anywhere in the place. That might be in your desktop, might be in your iOS, might be in your web, right? Everywhere Kotlin can be used, right? So Kotlin has this thing like so every compiler, right? You have multiple sections of it. So there is called front end compiler, front end of the compiler, right? There is another thing that is called back end of that compiler. Backend of that compiler. That means, so whenever you write any code, right, for a compiler, right, whenever you write any code, let's say you are writing val username equals to maybe my name Devdut, right? That means this is a language that you are writing which should be interpreted to your computer language, right? That's a 0 or 1. I'll not go into that depth, but how Kotlin works, that is, you write something, so front end will take that out input to it, right? And it will transform to a grammar based language. So that will extract all the things and it will make use of it, and it will compile to a grammar based output, which grammar based output will be provided to your backend compiler, right? So it's kind of a grammar which is being created from this front end compiler, right? So backend will understand this grammar and make use of it and create a platform specific code here. So what will happen? So if you see here, so it creates a native binary over here. Native binary in the sense it's a native binary, right? So this backend is called IR backend. So in Kotlin, it called IR backend. So this you don't have to do gonna go many depth of it. I'm just for learning purpose, I'm just stating you on the upper level, right? Not going into the depth. So it's kind of a front end compiler which compiles your language, whatever you are writing, to a grammar based output, and that grammar based output provided to your backend compiler, and backend compiler is generating a native binary for you. So that native binary is the output that is actually being used in your code base. That means, let's say if you are exporting your Kotlin code to a JS runtime, right? So it will directly compile this backend compiler is responsible for creating a JS code out of your Kotlin code, right? So native binary means it is platform specific native binary. For iOS, it will be C++. For Android, it will be something else. Like, because Kotlin is native to Android, so it can be compiled to Kotlin itself, right? And then again for desktop, it's a Java based, right, binary. So it directly compiles your native binary. So that's how Kotlin is represented throughout any platform. It can be compiled to any platform. So that is the bare bone of it. It's the backend compiler that is written to it. So there are clear distinguishing. So this is pure Kotlin, right? This part, but the backend is platform specific. You can extend the backend compiler to any sort of language that you want. Currently, it supports JavaScript runtime. It supports any other technology that is already iOS, and also the JVM based desktop applications as well. Right. That's how Kotlin works. That is what the primary level of understanding. Now, secondary thing, that is, I'll go to the KMP now. Right now, you understand how Kotlin is compiled to a native binary. Right, similar concept. Right, KMP works. That means KMP make use of Kotlin compiler itself and create the in and create those all the logic that you are writing inside that Kotlin, right? All the things will be compiled to a native binary. That means for Android, it will be R, right? You know already that whenever you run any module, sort of any Java module or Kotlin module, it creates a R file, and that R file is embedded to your APK, correct? So for Android, it will generate a R file. For iOS, it will actually create a XE framework that is purely native, right? And for Java or JVM based desktop application, those will be .exe file for Windows, and Mac for Mac it will be another any other extension, and for JavaScript it's a .js file. So it will directly create those native binaries, and you can import those native binaries into your code base, and you can call any sort of functions, right, whichever you are exporting to, right, that functions you can import it inside this, and you can make use of that functions, and you can call those function directly. So there are no breach, no communication breach, no serialization deserialization happens. So it is pure just a native stub that you are exporting to, and you are directly calling a function. It's kind of you are calling a function from one library or one language to another language. That's it. You are calling the JS function itself, but that was written in Kotlin. That is how KMP works. Any question, anything till now, or should I continue? Azim?
Guys, is it clear to all of you? We have 31 people.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, continue. Okay, fine. I'll I'll continue on that. So the next part is CMP, right? How CMP works actually. So CMP, it's a composed multi-platform. So it also based on that what Kotlin export to, right? Anyway, you are writing a composable. What that mean? That mean it's nothing about, like, it's only a function that you are writing right on top of that, and that function is annotated as composable. That's it, right? That is what it is, right? Okay, I'll take all the questions at last. I'll continue on this.
Yes.
So basically what happens, composable is nothing about a function only, right? You are just annotating as a composable, right? And that at the rate composable that you are writing, that again Kotlin compiler make use of it and create some and generate some code out of it. So that code is hidden. So you need a composer and all those things. I will not go deep onto the compose, how compose works, but that is what it is, right? So whenever you are annotating as composable, that means you are that compose compiler actually generates a code to handle the composition, recomposition, and all those things, right? So how it works? So Compose is also built on top of the idea of cross-platform. That means Compose runtime and Compose as a library, it's built on a conceptual level. So it's a library, right? It's a Kotlin library, pure Kotlin library. There are no nothing as dependent on any OS or any platform, right? It's a pure Kotlin library that you have written. So there, it's a bundle of many things. So this library is provided to you and exported to you for all the platforms, like for Android, for iOS, for desktop, for others, whatnot, right? So Kotlin creates the code into a native binary, that is Kotlin compiler responsibility, and Compose actually it's a library that is bundled within and bundled, and that is transformed by the Kotlin compiler to your native binary, right? So it's a runtime.
I think there is network issue.
Execute. So this entire architecture is built on top of that idea, and that idea is bundled only with a library, right? So that library called Compose Runtime. Now how it works for all the platforms, that means for Android how it works, I'll just mention with the example. So this is your Compose Runtime, which is there for all the platform, right? Now the rendering comes into the picture, right? So Compose Runtime does all the heavy lifting, what function needs to be re-executed, where that function exactly changed, all those things are taken care by of Compose Runtime itself. Now what native does, that means Compose actually gives the instruction to your native uh, native rendering system, that you have to draw, let's say, draw a rectangular or draw a circle or draw a path, right? Those sort of instruction is provided to your, let's say you are using CMP for Android, that means Android native Android instruction called draw rect or draw circle, like that. So this you already know, this is being done inside the canvas itself, right? You have an Android, in the native Android you have canvas, right, to draw something right inside it. So it directly provide those information to your canvas, and canvas only draws all the UI pixel by pixel based on or using the native Android, whatever native Android bundles up, right? So canvas also internally for Android, it internally uses OpenGL. I'll not go into depth on that. You guys can search on it how things works inside Android platform. So it will call the OpenGL, and it that is for Android. Now how iOS works, right? So for iOS, it uses little bit different. So you have a Skia engine. So for iOS, it also publish this sort of information to the Skia engine. So you guys can also search on how Skia works and what Skia is, but I'll give you a short overview how Skia works, right? That is how CMP works. So I'll just summarize what I explained now. This Compose runtime is nothing but the library. It actually calculates where and which function needs to be executed again. But for native Android and iOS desktop, it's the platform that renders the thing. So you can think of this Compose runtime make use of CPU, to be precise, and this rendering engine uses GPU to render your pixel perfect UI. That's it for CMP. I think that is the whole idea of CMP. Any questions so far? Azim, what do you think? Like things are good, like the
Yes, yes,
explanations are
yes.
clear,
Continue. Yes,
correct?
things are going good. No worry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what KMP and CMP works. Now I will explain the module structure, uh, how the module structure looks like, and where you write which code and all those things. I'll explain that.
So, guys, is there any question till here?
Sphere work as bridge for iOS. It's not a bridge directly. It's kind of a optimization layer on top of iOS Metal. So Swift UI, when directly interacts with your Metal, right? It also does some optimizations which are specific to iOS. But Skia is cross-functional. That means it's a cross-platform engine that is built on top of every platform-specific rendering engine, right? It's kind of a layer, you can say. It's not a bridge. Bridge means when you do certain computation inside it and then do the rendering there, right? It's not like that. It's kind of a stub, you can say. You are directly calling Metal itself, but it's kind of a layer on top of that, right? So I will go beyond it. So what I'll do, I will explain uh, how things works over here. So if you see, we are building an application. Azim, should I explain what application we are building, or should I start with the module structure first?
No, first we can explain the what actually we are going to build, and yes, we can give the demo of the application first.
Okay. So this is the application, guys. You guys can see. So this kind of a crypto application, right? Just a minute, it's lagging actually because I am sharing my screen. That
Yes,
might be
yes.
the reason. So
Mhm.
this is the application that we built, and if you see, there are a section where we are showing list of cryptocurrencies that are available, the entire market cap we have, that is gained or lost, right? So that you can actually have a clear decision where should I invest to cryptocurrency or not. So there is kind of a indication over here. Similarly, you have how much list you are showing, out of it how much in positive and how much in negative, right? So there are 20 list of items where 18 items are in negative for today, and for two items are in positive, right? So this is what it is for the home screen, and you also clearly see how much time up, like before it got updated. It's 45 minutes ago. If I click on it, it will refresh it, right? This little bit lagging because it's only a simulator. That's why. So if you click on the search, just a minute, it's little bit lagging. Let me reshare my screen once.
Yes, it happens because the screen sharing. It happens actually.
Yeah, yeah. You can show the demo video. I think Azim,
Yes,
things
yes.
are
So,
really like hitting my machine actually.
no worry. You can show the demo video of the screen.
Yeah, just a minute. Let me bring that videos. Hold on, guys, just a minute. Huh? I'm just showing the videos. Yeah, let me share my screen. So this is our Android application video. You guys can see. So here, this is the list we have. So this is the details page we have. And you have favorites. You can also mark that in the favorite, and you can also delete it from your favorite list. You can also manually refresh the data. Even you can also have this switch for theme. So you can do dark to light and light to dark favorites, and then this is the UI for dark theme. That is what for Android. I will explain for the iOS also. I'll show you the iOS application as well. It's exactly the same. You have a search. You can search for, let's say, Bitcoin. Going to the details, and this is the list you have. You can also do the same, right? You just refresh the data and all, then do the theme toggle and what not, right? You can search also. This is the details page for iOS. Okay, this is what it is. And then you have a desktop application as well, a similar kind of design. Search for Bitcoin. You can go to any sort of list details page. You can also favorite by clicking on this star button, right? You can see over here. If you click on this, it will be automatically saved in your favorite list. So you can go into the favorites, you can go to the details, you can take a decision whether you need to invest or not, right? So this is kind of a tracking of cryptocurrencies, right? So yeah, that is what we are building throughout this session.
So Devdut,
And
like you can explain as well, ki, like what are the things we have used in this app?
yeah, so here we purely written all the code and all the UI in CMP, and make use of KMP also for writing your business logic there. And the interesting part is we are not writing the code, we will be understanding in depth. As well as the thing is, we are building our own library as well. It's a kind of a key value storage inside this inside this curriculum. We will be creating one module which will be act as a library for us to store key value pairs, and it will be written in platform specific code. So how you write a platform specific code, that also I will explain there. So for iOS, we are using user defaults. For Android, we are using data store, and for desktop also we are using certain binaries which we can make use of it. So these are the things also we will build, and also we will be using Ktor for our networking library, and SQL Delight for the database. So it's kind of offline first application, and whatever you see, it's coming from database itself. So whenever you launch the application, it will automatically refresh the page within a second. So it will be very smooth. The scrolling behavior you already seen into the application. It's a debug build. Still, it is scrolling very smooth, and it release it's blazingly fast. So yeah, so these are the main key pointers that we covered into this. Apart from this, there are many other things, small things, also big things as well inside this curriculum. I think you guys will enjoy it.
Yes, so you can open the website as well, and you can uh, open or like see the content as well.
That coding chip, right?
Yes, yes, the coding chef.
Yeah. So you already seen, right? And already we, I think, more talked about this, the fundamentals, right? KMP, Flutter, React Native, and KMP project, how it works, right? So we will better explain this part also into the course curriculum, that will also interest you. Have to understand how Flutter, React Native, and KMP works, so that you can have a decision around it, which technology to choose, right? So that is very important to know. And then we will do this network integration. We will know how we can refresh a token and have any failure or certain things. So how you tackle those error failure cases, right? Inside networking library, how you can create your own networking library out of it, right? Then you have a dependency injection as well, how you do dependency injection in cross multi-platform projects, right? Because for Android, you guys are using Hilt and others, right? Hilt and Dragger maybe, or maybe other solutions. But over here, we will be using Metro. And why we chosen Metro over any other solution, that will also explain there. Then we will make use of pagination as well, how pagination works, how we will deal with the pagination there. Then we will introduce the offline first data persistence, right? So this persistence is the SQL Delight, right? So we will be using SQL Delight for persistence, right? How things works for cross-functional projects and cross-platform, right? So these are the things we will know. After that thing, we will create our own persistence, right? For key value storage, we will create our own library out of it for Android, iOS, and desktop as well, right? Then we will introduce Compose platform there, how things works. We already talked about little bit over this here, and we will more talk about it there for the internals, how Compose works, Compose runtime works, right? All those things we will explain there. Then we will make use of Coil and others to load the UI, the image UI, right, from the network. Those sort of things, loading and error cases, handling the error navigations, right? So in the next one, we will be moving towards theming, how you theme your application in a better way, so that you can have a like the dark theme and the light theme also supported. And also we will be working on the latest navigation library that we have, make use of it for CMP, right? Those things also we will work on. Then we will do this background work and scheduling. So we will be doing an this worker thing throughout the application. It will be Android, iOS, and desktop as well. We'll be running a worker there, and we will cache our data into our database, so that we can have a automatic polling actually of the data from the API, right? That is what we will be doing. And then we will be also walking you through on the Swift UI, some of the things we will be writing in Swift UI code, and we'll be mentioning certain basic things to know to start with Swift UI. And also we will be building certain application which will be using native UI code for Swift UI, and there how you will integrate existing KMP code into your Swift UI application, that also we will explain there. And then again, the modularization, clean architecture, how it works, and how you split your code into multiple modules, those sort of things we will discuss. And then at the last, we will actually build, release the application to the Play Store, how we can release those applications, how we can make our application production ready. So that is what all about. I think uh, i think that's it. I think that is a very comprehensive curriculum that we built for you. Yeah.
And yes, they would like how can we say that this course will be the beneficial for the people those who will enroll in this.
Yeah, obviously this is very beneficial. Why I'm saying, it's not sake of I am teaching something or something like that, right? It's kind of based on your what practical knowledge you need to build an application. It's not all about interview, right? It's all about understanding the architecture, understanding the things from the code, so that you confidently say that I can build any application in CMP at the first day, right? If I just go through it, I give time to the technology, it will actually pays me off when I will complete this curriculum. And we will be giving you certain homework as well to do, to understand the things better, so that you guys can feel confident in the next learning phases, that you can build any sort of application with this knowledge.
Yes, yes, Devdut, you can continue.
Okay. So this is what it is actually. This is the course curriculum. You can compare with any other open source courses. It will be, I think we are covering most of the things. I think 90% of the things while building a application there, complex application as well as a simple application. That is the advantage you will get.
Yes, yes. So, yes, guys, anything you want to ask, any question till now, any doubt you have about the course, curriculum, timelines, anything?
Okay. I
Okay.
think maybe I am explaining good, or I am explaining very worst that you don't have any questions at all. There
Guys,
might be two possibilities.
yes, guys,
Yeah,
please tell in the chat, like, what's your feedback actually? Like,
yeah,
how the Devdut has explained the concepts and explained the things. Yes, timing of the course. So basically, the classes will be, I think, the three classes. Sorry, there will be the two classes in the week. So Wednesday and Friday, and it is all basically 6 week program. But classes, one or two classes can be extended based on the like complexity of the project. Like these are not the, like we are not the strictly bound to these weeks, right?
mhm.
And yes, recording is also available, so every class you will get the recording. So if you are unable to attend the class due to some timeline, due to some busy work, so you will get the recording definitely on the website. You need to create an account on the website. All the notes and assignment you will get there.
Yeah, and also apart from this, also I'll try to actually share you certain documents as well, so that you keep in handy with you, so that in the near future you guys can make use of those documents, and you can also use it for your building your application after this course. I think that will be added benefit that you will get out of it. So yeah.
Yes, exactly. And another question, without Mac, is it possible? Yes, it is possible without the Mac, but the only one thing is you cannot build the iOS, but like you can build the Android and the desktop app.
Yep.
Basically, you can write the code exactly because the code was shared, right? But you cannot build that APK or like DMG file.
Yep. um yeah, anything else, any questions till now?
No, compose is not covered in this course. So for the if you want to go with the compose, so for the compose we have a complete recorded bootcamp or cohort. You can go on the website and enroll in that. You will get the 10 recordings, I can say, and all these recordings are in the complete depth of the compose.
Yep.
And I think like I have make this at a very minimal price, so you can go and check out that.
Yep.
And yes, like if you want to enroll, so first I just want to know like how many of you want to enroll or like interested to enroll. Expect actual. Yes, yes, you have enrolled. Han enrolled. Yes, Han is actually outside the India. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so those who want to enroll, so for that I have created a coupon. Let me check what actually the coupon is. Just a second. Course. So if you want to enroll today or now, so I have created two coupon basically. The first coupon is the, let me use the chat I am putting here. So instant off. So if you apply this, so you will get the like huge discount as of now, but it is limited to only 5 folks, right? So only 5 people can opt this. So those who want to go first, so you can opt this. And if this coupon is expired, there is another coupon, so you can opt this. This is the Friday off. You can try this coupon second. This is the second coupon. So there are two coupon. You can go and apply this and you can enroll all these. But instant off is the limited edition. Okay, so anything, anyone want to say anything or should we wrap up? Classes on Monday and Friday. So basic classes on the Wednesday and Friday. As of now, we are planning, but based on the people's availability and our schedule as well, we can shift the days. But the per week there will be like two classes or 2 day classes, and each class is of 2 hours.
Yes.
16th is Monday, right? So we will do like if we are starting this, so we will do on the Monday initial class. Okay, so I think we have covered a lot of things, and if you don't have any doubt, we can wrap up this.
Yeah, someone I think asked about expect and actual. So I'll just give a short answer in one line. Like that is, so basically you write kind of it works on you write an interface and you have a multiple implementation. It's the as simple as that, right? So it's you are, let's say, mentioning one class which can be extended into multiple platforms. Based on platforms you write a platform specific code as well. That is how Kotlin multi-platform works, and you can write platform specific code for your specific requirement. So that is what it is. How things are done and what are the things we need to know about it, that we will learn into the course itself.
So thank you guys, thanks for joining this session. And how many session included in this course? You can count the session as well, guys. So it's a 6 week program, and each week has the 2 session. So all the session is
Yes.
about I think 12 or 13 session.
Yeah, 12 and 13. Based on what you understood, right? So if any doubts and anything, right, we can also arrange, I think, one special classes, I think, after the doubt clearance and all
Yes,
those things, right? It may extend also, because it matters how you learn, right? So like the our main motive is to teach you how things works, right? So
yes,
that you guys can feel confident about building the application from scratch, rather than we do present some code and then you guys can work on that and then start working on that. That is not what it is. It's kind of we will give you a kick start to you so that you guys can start off it, and after 1 year, who knows, you guys can also build very amazing applications within 2 months or 3 months
yes,
later down the line, and you guys can also tag us in LinkedIn after building those things, and we'll be feel proud of you.
correct. And one more thing, uh, I चीज थी यार मैं भूल गया what I was saying actually. uh, I forgot यार. Yes, yes, sorry. So yes, you will get the code access, like you will get the GitHub repository access. You can clone the repository, whatever the code we are writing, whatever the code we are giving. So you can clone the repository and start practicing in that.
Yep.
Okay. So okay, thank you guys, and it was a good session, Devu. Thanks to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Bye bye.
Mm.
Good night.
Bye.